I'm curious about your own upbringing and, where there was the disconnect maybe between that and then this nonviolent parenting world that you were, interested in and looking at and wanting that representation in.
Yeah, and I think this has come up also with the parents that I work with since then. There's, a very unique aspect to being raised by a Latina mother, but especially by an immigrant mother. My parents were born in Mexico, and so my mom came here when she was very young. She was 14 years old, started working right away, and that's a very common experience actually for a lot of children of immigrants who had parents who came to the United States very young. And so the stressors that impacted my mom were very different than the stressors that impacted your mom, the stressors that impacted maybe like Dan Siegel, Tina Payne, I don't know their parents. Having had that experience of being mothered and being fathered by immigrants, like there were systemic, institutional, and cultural influences that were present in their parenting that, having gone to a majority Caucasian high school, here where I live in Santa Ana, I quickly realized that that was not the case for some of my white peers.
Mm.
And so I was kind of at this borderline, where I was straddling these two cultures, where I was very much entrenched in my mom's family and, Mexican culture and going to fiestas and seeing the way that, my tias and my tios, my aunts and uncles parented their children, and then going to like my white friends' homes and being like, whoa, this is really different. Like you actually get listened to sometimes, like you don't get threatened. You don't get, and so for me, all my cousins and I have very shared experiences of respect. You had to obey, and that was a way that you demonstrated respect. You had to be very willing to be a part of the family, and this is a value called familismo in Latinx families, where you want the family to stay together. And it's actually a really beautiful aspect of Latinx culture is that we are a collectivist culture. And so I think for some of us who are children of immigrants, we're in this place where we want to be individualistic because that's the culture that we're living in. We want to independendize, we want to make sure that we have autonomy, and at the same time, we want to honor our cultural roots of being collectivist, of being more community based. And so, Latinx parenting kind of explores that a lot in our parenting classes, um, honors our autonomy, and then also honors the fact that our parents struggled. They really struggled to assimilate, they struggled to acculturate, and they may not have had as much access to some of the resources that other families had. So, my hope is that we are growing in compassion for our experience, and in doing so, we're growing in compassion for our parents and our children.
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Janla Van Zant, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.